Hi and welcome to the Malat cookery channel. So this is another outdoor project video. It's part of an ongoing series of videos regarding building your own pizza oven at home, and in this one I want to explore some new materials that we might want to use if you want to advance that design further. Okay, so what I'm experimenting with at the moment with regard to the materials is a thing called Aircrete, which is fairly new in the UK, but it's been used quite extensively in the USA. Lots of people over there posting videos on how to make Aircrete. Couldn't really find that many of people in the UK doing it, so I decided to have a go. I'm also looking at Aircrete as being the basis for the new material for our next generation of home build pizza ovens. So in this video I just really want to explore the concept of Aircrete and how we can start to look at materials to actually make Aircrete at home. Okay, so this is basically Aircrete. All Aircrete is cement, water and foam, a really small bubble sized foam, in order to create this Aircrete. As I said, thermal mass quality is absolutely fantastic. However, structural integrity is dreadful. So I made this mould. I've got this lawn edging mould, concrete mould, which I thought I'd make a larger piece of Aircrete in. I've just started to test its strength, and strength-wise, it's not great at all. But I don't know if you can see all these tiny air bubbles, and that's what gives it its tremendous thermal mass. So it's definitely a material I want to explore further in order to build the next generation of home build pizza ovens. This particular Aircrete didn't want to spend any money on equipment to make it, so I actually made it with the cheapest shaving foam I could get, and it's actually the best smelling concrete on the planet, I think. Another quality of Aircrete is that it actually floats. So I don't know if you can see that. Again, that just shows you that it's the amount of air that's actually within the structure. Okay, so Aircrete, its thermal mass properties are amazing, its structural integrity is dreadful, so if we're going to incorporate a little bit of strength into a structure containing Aircrete, I think we're well on the way to producing the next generation of home build pizza ovens. The problem is I can't just keep buying tins of shaving foam and use that, because you actually need a lot of this stuff to make the Aircrete. So the next step was to have a look at whether I could build a foam generator using basically stuff that we could buy in the shops, to see if I can generate enough foam to look at producing a pizza oven, a cast pizza oven. So as I said, a structure which has Aircrete incorporated into it will need a lot of foam, and so we couldn't just keep using cans of shaving foam. So in order to produce this much foam, I'll show you how I did it. So there are a lot of videos on the internet on how to make a foam generator to make Aircrete, and almost all of the ones that I've seen use plumbing waste pipe, so like soil pipe, to make a pressure vessel in order to house the premix soap solution. As an ex-firefighter, I have a very healthy respect for pressure vessels, and I wasn't about to start making a pressure vessel myself that's untested. So what I've decided to do is a safer route. It's not the safest route, because obviously this hasn't been pressure tested for this application, but what I've decided to do is use a garden sprayer, because this has been pressure tested, I think, to about 150 psi, and it also already incorporates a pressure release safety valve, which either blows off or you can manually release the pressure. So for me, this is by far a safer route to go, and in fact I think this was about £7, about $10 or $11. It's actually cheaper than having to buy in the plumbing waste pipe to actually make your own. So for me, this was a safer way to go, something that's already been pressure tested to be sold commercially and has an integrated pressure relief valve. Right, so I will do a build video on this where I show each of the individual components, but basically all I've done is, so the wand from this garden sprayer to obviously spray the garden, that's where this went. So all I've done is taken the wand out and replaced it with this valve, gate valve. We've then got attached a barbed 10mm barbed fitting into there using plumbing PTFE tape. This hose is braided hose, 10mm internal diameter hose. I bought, I think, 4 meters of that, about 12 feet. And then we've got some small hose clips. So the air comes into the garden sprayer here, and this valve gives me the ability to shut the air off if I need to. That's quite important. So I have a cheap Aldi compressor which actually connects onto here. So this is where the air supply comes in. Again, this is just a standard air compressor fitting. The only thing I had to make sure of is that this was the correct fitting for the air compressor that I had. I think in the UK and Europe there are two. One is this, I think it's called a Euro fitting, and the other one is an industrial fitting, which is longer. Just make sure you get the right one. Then we've got a 3/8 to 10mm barb fitting, which fits into there. Again, that allows the hose to be connected. This braided hose down to this brass fitting, which is basically just 3 10mm barbs, T-shapes. So the air comes in here from the compressor, it goes to the pressure vessel or the garden sprayer, and that gives the pressure which then pushes out the soap solution, but it also tees off to here, and this goes to the wand or the gun, which I'll show you in a minute. So on the bottom of the garden sprayer I've just drilled a hole, heated the hole. In fact, I actually had a tap which I was able to tap a thread into there, but if you haven't got a tap, just heat the plastic around and then make sure that the hole is about 1mm smaller than the thread on the end of this fitting, and just gently screw that in, and I've sealed that in with silicone. And this is where the soap solution gets pushed out by the air, and again that goes to the wand or the gun. I'll show you that in a minute. And everything's just connected with these hose clips. So our soap solution line from the bottom of the garden sprayer, and remember the T-piece that came off the actual air supply. So we've got the air supply here, we've got the soap solution coming in here to this Y fitting. Again, when I do the build video I'll give links to exactly where to buy these from. And these have just small, almost like gate valves on them to give you some form of control. So the soap solution in the air comes in and gets mixed together into this tube, and then that single tube gets fed into our homemade wand. And basically this is just plumbing waste pipe with a cap on one end, a cap on the other, and then again just this barbed. I had one spare, so I just put this in the end. I'm not even sure you need this, but this is just one of those barbed fittings coming out of the end. I'm just running down the length of this waste pipe. I've just pushed in some stainless steel scrubbing pads for pans, and just about 3 or 4 of those in there. And the idea of this is that as the foam or as the liquid solution it passes through these small holes, it agitates the solution together with the air, and that produces the best possible foam that you can. So again, all of this will be shown in the build video, which I'll do next. Okay, so let me show you what I've got. I've got my cheap air compressor from Aldi. We've got our garden sprayer. I've got this line which I mentioned, which I'll be connecting obviously to the air line from the compressor. Air feeds in to the sprayer in order to push our soap solution out. Also tees off and goes to our gun, our foam gun. The soap solution comes out of the pipe at the bottom, goes to this Y piece, so we've got the foam solution coming in here, we've got the air coming in here, mixes in this pipe into our foam generator, if you like, which has those hand scrubbers running all the way through, and then we get a really rich, concentrated, heavy foam coming out of the end, which again we use for our Aircrete. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start the machine up, show you what's being produced. I won't talk anymore, it's a waste of time because the compressor is so loud, but you'll get the picture and you'll certainly be able to see the quality of foam that comes out of the end. Okay, so that's the end of this first part of the video series. Again, just an overview of where we are at the moment with regard to looking at Aircrete as a potential material, or the base of a potential material to use in the next generation of our home-built pizza ovens. In the next video, as I said, I'm going to show you in detail how to build that foam generator and where to get the parts from, and then from there we'll do a video on how to actually make Aircrete, and then we'll be exploring obviously how to strengthen that Aircrete before we make our pizza oven. Please subscribe to the channel, and as usual, if you've enjoyed this particular video, hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching.